This is just a little bit of blending with acrylics to help us with our detail for our surreal hearts. So mine started here, and I'm looking at butterflies and nature, and I wanted to make the veins on the heart looking like they were growing and coming out of the heart into the background. So for this little particular part here, I'm going to use my round brushes, and I've made sure that I've squeezed out just the amount of colours that I'm going to use for that bit. And with my brush, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the white and possibly a little bit of the pink and a little bit of the red. And I'm just going to head to this little section here, and I'm just going to start blending my colours. So I'm just going to paint directly. With acrylics, you'll notice that you don't really need that much water. You will obviously to clean your brushes off at the end, but it's more or less trying to keep your paint really thick and blending and picking your colours up as you're going along and introducing them and mixing them actually onto the surface that you're working on. And this particular surface is a grey board, which is really nice to work with. I'm just going to come into that little bit there. So I'm constantly, all the time, we have a little look at the mixing palette there, and I'm just going back over and picking up the paint and coming back and putting it onto where my grey board is. And the motion of my brush I'm trying to keep curved, because I know that this little section here is three-dimensional. Now I want this bit here to be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to blend in and pick up a little bit of the purple on my brush and bring it over, and what we call blending with the paint that's kind of semi-dry. And I want this bit here to be a little bit lighter now, so I'm just going to go straight back, pick up my white paint and just paint that straight on to my board straight away. So I've made that, and then I'm not quite happy with that colour there, so I'm just going to go back, maybe pick up a little bit of pink and introduce that and start blending that in here. Now I'm quite careful because I want to keep that little bit there green, and then I'm getting lighter. I want to get this bit lighter as it's going up to this part of the heart, and I'm just gonna paint round and fill that in there. Now because I want that again to be a little bit darker, I'm going to pick up a bit of the purple as I'm working with my white. And that's kind of why we need extra white paint, because we really do use it a lot to blend with. And I'm going to just put in that white there, building up the layer all the time, putting the colours down with my round brush for this particular exercise. I might want to introduce just a little bit of pink there, I think, just for that part. I'd quite like to make that a bit red, I think. So I'm quite happy now kind of with that section, and what I would quite like to do is to put some of the veins like I've started to do here with the green twine of a flower wrapping around the inside of the heart. So because I know that I'm going to go to use a thinner brush, this area that I've painted already is a little bit damp, which is how we want it kind of for blending. And I'd quite like to see a few of those little stems coming round into this part here, and I'll just paint directly over the top, and again picking up any colours. I might want this here a little bit lighter, so I've just picked a little bit of white up on my brush and I've just blended it in, and I'm just going to have that coming out at the top there. So that's for that little part, and then I'll treat the other sections exactly the same.